welcome everyone. Today we are coming together to talk about our new moon yoga and Yoni steaming event that we have coming up at Grassroots Studio at the yoga company. So Caitlin or Becky, could one of you explain what it is that we're doing, what Yoni steaming is, and how we're incorporating yoga into this event and what people can expect from it?
Yeah, absolutely. We were just discussing this and how we wanted the flow to go. So the event is really going to be a lot about introspection, and so there'll be a lot of time for us to go inward. The Yoni steaming portion and the yoga portion will have instruction, but it will be really time for us to be quiet, to be with ourselves, to do some guided meditation, to feel into our bodies and to care for ourselves. And for the Yoni steaming portion, I'll speak to that, and then I'll let you speak to the yoga portion. So the Yoni steaming, what we are going to do, what you can expect, is to sit in circle together. There'll be 6 Yoni steam saunas, cedar saunas in a circle with some pillows, and it'll be a really cozy space. And we will change into skirts, so no one will see your Yoni. It'll be a sacred space, and all of the herbal water will be prepared. So when you're ready to steam, I'll bring the herbal water, the herbal tea, over to the saunas. I'll place it inside of it. We will all feel the steam to make sure that it's a really good temperature. You never want it to be too hot, just a nice calming temperature. And we'll set intentions over the herbs that we're going to be using. How you would like to feel, how you want your session to go. And then every woman will sit over the steam with their skirt on, and I'll wrap them in a really cozy blanket. And then I'll lead everybody in a guided meditation for part of the steam that will last about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how everybody's feeling. But that's usually how long. And it'll just be a time for us to relax, to feel into our womb space, to send love to that part of our body that we sometimes forget about or we're disconnected from. Many women are dealing with painful cramps, disconnection from that space because of the pain they've been struggling with. And so when we tend to ourselves in this really innate, natural way, it allows us to have that self-care, that self-love, that introspection. And, we're healing the women who came before us, the women who are living now, and the women who are in the future. So it's incredibly powerful. I love that. Mm-hmm. And then we'll have time at the end to talk about our experience, to share with each other. 6 women will be steaming at a time. So if we have a bunch of women and there's, space for other women to sit, they can be pulling cards, journaling, drinking tea. There's going to be CBD that you can add to your tea if you'd like for a small fee. And it's just going to be a great time to share what's going on in your life and your experience.
Can you touch on what a Yoni is for people that don't know?
Yes. So I love the word Yoni because it's talking about this lower half of our body. So we're talking about the vulva, the vagina, the exterior and interior, and then up into the uterus, the fallopian tubes, the ovaries. So that's the physical portion of it. But a Yoni in Sanskrit means sacred temple. And so it's covering the emotional, physical, spiritual, energetic, all of those pieces of this space of our bodies. And that's why, some people call it vaginal steaming, V-steaming, pelvic bath, all these different names. But I like Yoni. That's what resonates most to me because it's all of that stuff. We're not just physical. It's so much more than that. And we're doing way more than clearing out old residue in our uterus that's causing period pain. We're releasing emotions. We're releasing past partners. We're doing the work that our ancestors used to do, and we're remembering how to do it.
Yes, that's beautiful. In India, they call the menstrual cycle your moon cycle. And it's interesting how Sanskrit or other languages, oftentimes those words resonate more with us. They have more meaning to us. With the moon cycle, I like it better than period or menstrual cycle. Like it's an aspect of our lives that we have to talk about, and finding the words that resonate with us, because we are in flow with the moon when we are at our best in our rhythm. And the interesting thing too is that women, when we live together, we start to come together in our cycles. And so doing this work that you're doing in circle with the Yoni steaming, how does that correlate to this moon cycle idea of like women coming together, women finding that flow together in community? Because one of the things that I've heard from people since we've been talking about this event that we're doing, they're like, cool, but what do you mean Yoni steaming together? Isn't that like a private practice? And so can you just touch on that before we move on to I do want to get to the yoga too, but.
Yes, absolutely. So, this topic in general, this whole Yoni steaming topic, is something that it is very ancient. It's not anything that's new, but it does kind of create some, I'll just be honest, it creates some anxiety for people because it is this part of our body that we're not super comfortable talking about. Like just saying the word vagina really kind of freaks people out. And I find myself censoring myself. I had to say the word vagina a couple times on TV a few months ago, and I found myself like when I looked back at the video, my eyes kind of went down a little. I'm like, wait a second, this is my life's work. Like, this is part of our body. Why are we weird about saying it? Why am I being weird about saying it? But this can be a private practice, absolutely. And I started doing this as my own private practice in my home. But what I found is that we're doing this work separate, but we're all struggling with similar things. So what happens in the circles that I've been offering here at the Remedy House is that women are gathering in circle, and we're not just steaming together. We're not just saying, oh, this is cozy, this is so nice. No, we're getting vulnerable. We're talking about all of these things that we're going through, whether it's painful sex, whether it's low libido, terrible pain when they're having their moon cycle, all of these things. And so when we're coming together, we're talking about this instead of keeping it in the dark. When you bring things into the light and you talk about them, it makes them lighter, physically lighter, energetically lighter. So we're not stigmatizing them. We're not shaming them. We're saying, this is what's happening in this modern world. Women are suffering. Women are struggling. We're not doing this alone. We have sisters that can go through this with us. And the beautiful thing is that when you're in circle is you can share as little or as much as you want. You don't have to share, oh my gosh, after I had my first baby, I was peeing my pants and I had to wear a pad. Some people don't feel comfortable saying that. That's okay. You may hear someone else say, I struggle with this. You can hear their story and you can know that you're not alone in that and that there's ways to heal it. So we're doing this work together, and anytime women gather together, oh my gosh, it shifts the energy. It creates a vortex, a portal, and we shift. I mean, we could move mountains when we meet. So it's way more than just doing some sort of radical self-care.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you. And Caitlin, how are we incorporating the yoga into this experience? Because it really is more of, we're creating an atmosphere for people. So can you explain a little bit of how the yoga plays into that?
Absolutely. I first have to say I'm really excited about the community Yoni Steam and everything Becky talked about. We're really just calling women forward to come together, to feel the support of each other in this community. I've really been finding how beneficial that is in my own life, and opening up and sharing and knowing that I'm not alone, and just being together is so powerful. So I'm really excited about this event and what it can be for women. and with the moon and living with the moon cycle, like you touched on, it's so powerful. And so to have this monthly reunion, to come together, to feel the energies that we've all been feeling, to release together, to set new intentions. It's just really beautiful work that I just feel so honored to be a part of. And so with the yoga, it's really, I feel it is perfect synchronicity to help the body open up as we're doing work physically with the yoni steaming and emotionally. There's also that work done in yoga where you're working on an energetic level, a physical level, a spiritual level. And with the yoga that we'll be doing, it will be very restorative. We'll be sitting in about 6 postures together. We'll be opening up the hips and the sacral area in different ways. And I just think that it will help with the opening and the release. Kate will be also playing sound bowls, so there will be that sound energy and healing connected with it, along with some guided meditation. I do encourage you to bring your journal. I see it being very self-reflective, introspective, just listening to the body and its response, being connected and aware, and then having that community support. We will have time afterwards and in between sessions to ask questions, to share your experience. Yeah, so bring your journal, be prepared to go within anything that you're dealing with. If you want to share, or if you're just wanting to feel connected, it can be as much sharing or as little as you'd want, but to know that you are supported by community either way, and that nature is here to support us and to be our best teacher of how to really live life in the fullest and to let go of the suffering that we're clinging to. We don't have to suffer. And the more that we come together and do this healing, the more we can move forward and heal our hearts, heal our sacral area, and really experience our best lives together.
That's really beautiful. And if you can just touch on for a moment your experience with yoga, because you have a different perspective than some of the teachers that are typically in the West. You studied with us in India for 3 or 4 months, and you learned from my husband. So can you just talk a little bit about how the yoga, you said there's 6 yoga postures you'll be in, how those are benefiting women specifically, because this we're not trying to not include the men, but this is a women's practice that we're talking about and promoting today. So can you just touch on that a little bit, and the importance of hormones and how we are affecting the physical body and, deeper aspects through these practices?
Yes, and if you have anything to add, please do. My time in India was so amazing, just connecting to those ancient roots, first of all, and getting that perspective of yoga that you don't always get here in the West. It really opened my mind up to the science behind yoga and what it's offering the body just by sitting in these postures. So the poses that we will be doing are all about opening up the womb area, like Becky had talked about, thinking about all of your organs and creating space there. Also, by sitting in these postures, our hormones are given a chance to reach some equilibrium. Our body is always working towards healing and homeostasis. It is a lot of the mind and energetic blockages that create the dysfunction that we see in the body, but in its innate, purest form, the body is always looking for that wholesome health. And so the way these postures are designed are to really nurture that area, to find openness, to also work in the pelvis area to, again, open those joints, open the space. We'll do opening in various ways so that some places are also able to close, right? There's always a balance of opening and closing. So it will be a wholesome practice of different ways of opening up the space, forward bending to release, And I'm really excited about the sound being added in, as that will just help the body with the vibration and the frequency. And really our job is to allow our bodies to sit in these poses and just to absorb the healing benefits. There's really nothing else to do but to come, being prepared to be open in the space. Anything else to add on
That's
that?
so beautiful. No, that was perfect. Could both of you or one of you share the details of the event and how someone registers? Because we don't have that many spaces. People do need to sign up ahead of time. So just, can you tell us when it is and where it is and how to sign up, all that?
Can I give that back to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So this event is on February 23rd. It's at Grand Rapids Yoga Company, and it's from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. And you can find the Facebook event on Facebook. And there's also Eventbrite tickets that you can purchase. And it's $35, $35. And that's it. It's going to be a great experience. I'm really excited to be working with all these amazing, powerful women. I think collectively together being on the full moon is going to be so powerful and so potent.
The new moon, right?
Oh, new moon. I'm so sorry. The new moon. I'm still in this full moon like shadow thing going on. And so, you know, to add to that new moon energy, women who gather, you know, we start to cycle together. If we weren't exposed to artificial light so much, artificial hormones, different things, we would all be bleeding together on the new moon. And so I just think that just reminds me of the red tent, being together, communing as women, sharing our stories and our wisdom and supporting each other. So.
And how long is the event?
2 hours from 9 until 11.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you both for being here with me. I'm so excited we had a chance to talk and share what we're doing. It's so different, I think, via Zoom or video to share what we're doing in the community than just like a Facebook invite. Like, come see if you like. At least people have an idea of what's happening, who we are, what we're offering. So thank you both so much for making time for this.
Thank you for hosting.
Thank you.